Happy Monday, everyone. This is Chief Meteorologist Jeff George with your UCN weather update this week. And we always have a lot to talk about, don't we? So let's get right to it. In the tropics, okay, this morning it was kind of nice. It was quiet, nothing expected for the next 7 days. But as we know, that's why we have to watch the tropics every single day, because this afternoon a new disturbance popped up. It didn't just pop up out of nowhere. We kind of saw it on the satellite a little bit earlier today. It's been developing slowly, so there are concerns on the models that it may keep on developing. So let's watch it. Right now it is way west. I'm talking way west of the Windward Islands right here. Over the next several days, it's going to take a couple days, because as of right now we have a lot of African dust being pushed into the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. So the South and Southeast U.S. will start to see a little bit of the effects of that African dust the next couple days. And what that means is some hazy skies, some really, really pretty sunsets, and overall, sunsets and sunrises, by the way, but overall, very minor effects. But the way it's looking right now, eventually this disturbance, no matter what it's going to turn out to be, will work its way slowly through the Caribbean this week, possibly get towards the Yucatan Peninsula if it can stay intact by the end of the week into the weekend, and then possibly head back out into the Bay of Campeche. So again, if that makes its way into the Bay of Campeche, even this weekend or early next week, that would be what, the third system in that area in like 7 to 10 days. That means the east coast of Mexico, in this scenario that you see right there, will get hammered again with some heavy rain. What we have going for us is maybe a little bit of African dust maybe left over in this area. Also, the waters have been relatively cooled down from the last two systems. So that's why the chance of development right now is very low. There's also, of course, the possibility that if the weather pattern shifts a little bit, that system could head north, farther north into the Gulf, and possibly, and I'm talking an outlier as of right now, possibly affect Texas and Louisiana again, but that's way, way too far down the road. It is absolutely nothing for anyone in the southeast or southern U.S. to be concerned about right now. When it's time to worry, of course, we will let you know. As of right now, only thing we need to worry about is staying cool in the southern U.S. along the Gulf Coast and really the southeast Atlantic coast too. And that's kind of what I want to talk about next. So this is our Barron system, and I want to point out several things to you, because as of right now, I mean, as far as showers and thunderstorms across the central and southern U.S., you see some showers, like scattered rain and thunder across the Rockies, and you see some more wet and strong and severe thunderstorms. Wet weather, I'm trying to say, and strong and severe thunderstorms making their way along and off the North Carolina coast. Also, what I want to show you is this frontal system. Okay, so it's a front that goes into the north central U.S. It starts over here. I want to highlight South Dakota. It dives south into Missouri, and it dips and droops into the southeast U.S., and it kind of rides along the eastern coast. Okay, not causing a lot of really stronger, severe thunderstorms right now, except, let's go ahead and get over here towards the North Carolina coast. We have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 8 o'clock, and you see a line of severe thunderstorms heading east off the coast. These showers and storms fired off this front. They quickly moved east and northeast, and pretty soon they'll be out in the open waters. But in the meantime, the east coast of North Carolina has to be weather aware until those storms finally creep out of there. And you also see all those heat alerts. Look at all that stuff. I mean, heat and humidity, just nasty and god-awful. All throughout the central U.S., and those heat alerts stretch along the Gulf Coast into northern Florida. And the reason why the eastern U.S. Is really not under any of those heat alerts right now is because of that cold front that has dipped down. So in this area right here, the heat and humidity has been temporarily wiped out, so there's going to be some brief relief from the heat and humidity, but it comes right back Wednesday into Thursday with another system coming down. So I'm going to show you the Weather Prediction Center. Watch this system here. This is where it's at now, and there's the droop and the dip in the southeast U.S. Watch as this system keeps on heading south this week, and this is where the focal points are going to be for the rain, the flooding, and the severe weather. So this is this evening. That's Tuesday morning. The front heads a little bit farther south. The system drifts a little bit farther south. This is tomorrow afternoon. This is tomorrow evening. You see more rain and thunder really flaring up. Now the southeast U.S. and Florida is going to see an enhanced version of the showers and thunderstorms this week. So Florida, even more rain than usual. And then we get into Wednesday morning and Wednesday evening. That front is drifting farther down into the southeast U.S. Thursday, it just kind of hangs out and lollygags there for a couple days, so enhanced chances for showers and thunderstorms from the Carolinas to the Gulf Coast and Florida. This is Thursday and the Thursday evening. And then Friday, another front comes into the northern U.S. that hangs out through the weekend. All right, and that's why your Storm Prediction Center maps look like this. Okay, let's go back a couple days. So this is day one. Severe weather is most likely this evening and early tonight. Across Minnesota into Wisconsin. It's a slight to enhanced risk. Your tornado threat is also mostly in Wisconsin and Minnesota. All right, along the Gulf Coast, really not much of a tornado threat. I'm sorry, along the East Coast where we have that severe thunderstorm watch for North Carolina, not much of a tornado threat. It's going to be a wind and hail threat. Okay, and then we go into tomorrow. As that front drags a little bit farther to the south, it'll drag that threat for flooding and severe weather with it. That's mostly into, looks like parts of Kansas and Nebraska, into the Great Lakes. Mostly a wind and hail threat, isolated tornado threat, so no big tornado outbreaks are expected this week anywhere. And this is Wednesday, and that front is going to be draped across Arkansas, into the Ohio Valley. Northeast U.S. gets in on the action. Slight to enhanced risk. Okay. I want to go back to the Weather Prediction Center maps here and talk about the flooding because, of course, Iowa and parts of southern Minnesota are just really hammered with flooding the past 4 or 5 days going back into last week. And then, unfortunately, those flooding concerns and severe weather concerns, like we just looked at, will continue this week because those are the areas that will get hammered with several cool fronts or cold fronts this week. All right. So this is the excessive rain maps for the next few days. This is for today. This is for tomorrow, shifting south. Those flooding threats will shift south with the front, along with the severe weather threats. And there's Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. Remember, this is Thursday. That cold front, another one comes in from the north. So Thursday, right there. Friday, the threat shifts back, really kind of hangs in the Iowa and parts of Minnesota, into the Iowa area and parts of Minnesota. So Iowa and Minnesota that has gotten just tons and tons of flooding rains the past week or so. More is on the way this week. So this map here is total rainfall from now until Friday. And you can see this area, parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin. I'm circling Iowa into Missouri and Illinois. Some places will get over 5 inches of rain, 5 or 6 inches of rain. On the average, a little bit lower. And because the Gulf Coast and Florida will get enhanced rain chances this week because of that other cold front, also several inches of rain. So those are the big weather stories this week. I want to show you the highlights one more time. Let's cover those to make sure you got a good handle on everything. Okay. So the flooding and severe weather threats mainly in the north and central U.S. Okay. And the severe risk also goes into the northeast U.S. on Wednesday. Daily rain chances along the Gulf Coast and southeast U.S., especially Florida, through Friday. No big weather makers, no big severe weather outbreaks. And of course, we're watching the tropics for a possible disturbance heading into the Caribbean later this week and the weekend, but no real immediate threats for the U.S. or coastal areas. Again, when it's time to worry, we'll let you know. All right, everyone, put your comments and questions down below, and you all have a great week. Please stay safe, stay cool, and united is strength. Have a great week, everybody.